Hello and welcome to video entry number 27. Wow. I have amazing news to share today. It is the best treatment news I have had so far. I am filled with hope and just so much hope. So, as I mentioned in probably a couple videos, I've been looking into this treatment called HISTOTRIPSY. Now, if you haven't had a chance to look up what that is, or I didn't explain it in another video, it's basically a non-invasive, so no surgery, no cutting open, non-heat, but using an ultrasound and high frequencies, it removes tumors. And it uses the ultrasound not only to, turn them into, like, it literally like turns them, like explodes them into little bubbles, and then they dissolve into your body. It's amazing. If you haven't had a chance to look at this technology, it's remarkable. It's really remarkable. And of course, my oncologist knew nothing about that. No shock there, really. But anyway, I got the opportunity to, I saw this and I wrote to some doctors down in California and, wanting more information. Well, I gave them, kind of my story, pancreatic metastases to the liver. I'm, very serious about looking into this. And I got a consultation today with a doctor. And I'll put his name in the notes because, of course, when I do this, I never remember any information. And he was fantastic. Yeah, the procedure is they can go, because my liver has more than like 3 or 4. They'd have to do multiple passes, which of course would be multiple trips, 6 to 8 weeks between each one. And he was saying, but I believe we can also tackle your pancreas, which is like huge. So, it might take 3 or 4 trips to the States to do it, but they could remove everything, which is amazing, amazing. Now, he did say to me today, because of course I'm giving him my, my story so far, the journey it's been, where I'm at with traditional medicine, and he's like, absolutely get started with your chemo. And he asked me which one I was on, and I told him which one I had requested. He's like, good, heavy hit it. He's like, because we want to slow down whatever's happening in your body to make sure it doesn't spread. It's like whack-a-mole, kind of thing. So, but he also told me an incredible statistic that 20% of patients who have histotripsy have what's called an immune response, which means the body takes a look at the disintegrating cancer cell and recognizes that it is a bad thing and it should be destroyed. And then the body, my own immune system, starts killing the cancer. So it is possible that more tumors between sessions could be like removed by my very own body. Now I'm still going to do chemo. So I would do histotripsy, chemo, or chemo, histotripsy, chemo, histotripsy, and keep doing that until everything is gone, because I don't want cancerous cells floating around my body. I might not be one of the lucky 20% that has an immune response. So I want to make sure that I'm not leaving a door open for it to float somewhere else and become a problem. And not only, so he said, I'll need, these blood panels, an updated CT scan, MRI, And we can get started as soon as mid to the end of November, which is mind-blowing, like literally mind-blowing. So chemo hopefully is starting in 2 weeks. So the PICC line, if I didn't explain that well, is going in next week. Hopefully that should be happening. That was what I was led to believe. And then 2 weeks I would be having chemo. I still have to wait for the port. The port is November 12th. But I can get started, and I could do some rounds of chemo before I go down to the States. I should tell you the cost of this. It is $50,000 for the first session, but I mean, the reality is that is nothing compared to the 200,000 American dollar price tag that I got from the center down in Arizona. So, like, yeah, this is a new but very successful treatment. And also when I go down for my first one, which would be 50, subsequent ones would be 35,000. So it is going to be an expensive journey. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet, but I'll figure that out as we go.
You should talk about the cost of chemo.
Oh, yeah, I did mention it yesterday, actually. Sorry, my off-camera director here is mentioning I should...
Off-site logistics.
Yeah, should mention that obviously the cost of chemo here is out to lunch. So, and, you know, I wanted to say Kevorkian, but that's very rude. But Dr. Keith was like, well, yeah, it can be upwards of $10,000, which I was like, I thought chemochemicals were free. I'm like,
per week or per month?
No, per month.
10,000 per month.
So I thought that was, yeah, if can't, you know, I pay for my nausea medication, but I was like kind of blown away by that news. If that's wrong and he comes back and tells me something different, great. But when he said that, Mom and I looked at each other like, that's insane. So that's troublesome and difficult, to say the very least. But onwards and curing cancer and, you know, beating this down, putting it into remission, getting my life back and treasuring it even more. Like, I was lying in bed last night thinking, life is amazing, and I have never been more excited about wanting to live longer in my life, you know. And sure, some things are hard and some things suck, and, you know, life is not all, you know, this fantastic, amazing time. There's difficult times as well. And God knows I've had some of those, and I know you guys have too. So it is, but man, I treasure it. I treasure my body. I'm so grateful for it. Even though I've got this cancer in here, I'm like, this body's amazing. I want to live in it a lot longer. And yeah, anyway, that's my rant about life there. But the HISTOTRIPSY, huge. Quinn's Aunt Tam was messaging her today because I was talking about getting a glucose monitor and a keto monitor, and she sent a link over, which was amazing, and I got one of those today because I want to keep an eye on my glucose levels, because obviously that's going to you know, let me know what's happening with my pancreas as well. And I think ketos, like if I can put myself into a close to ketogenic state, great. Again, it's like I don't think starving the cancer is the cure for cancer. And the crazy thing is, so my friend Karin, I love you, Karin, is here right now. And we were talking about like holistic cancer treatments. And she's told me this story about this woman named Belle Gibson. And back in like 2010, 2011, back in that time. And she basically lied about having cancer, created this whole online empire where it was all around nutrition. And she wasn't the only one. There was other influencers as well who created this whole, just eat healthy and juice and coffee enema and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, the person who actually had cancer died, as did her mother. And Belle, who had no cancer because she was a liar, lived to tell the tale because, of course, she didn't have any fucking cancer. Jerk. Anyway, but they probably combined killed a bunch of people because to say don't get traditional treatment or poo-poo, other things, that's irresponsible. Now, I get not everybody believes in chemo. Lots of people do other things, and that's fine. That's all within everyone's right to do so. Me personally, I believe in a little bit of traditional medicine. I also believe in holistic medicine. I believe in the woo-woo, and I believe a combination of those things is what's going to save my ass. Not disregarding any particular treatment option. And yeah, I'm not willing to do that. I'm just not willing to do that. People who have chemo live. It does kill their cancer. Not everybody, but it has worked many, many times. They don't continue to do it for no reason. Is it hard on everybody? Hell yeah. Is it a great way to, cure cancer? Not really. It's kind of awful. And you would think, with all the money that goes into cancer research, that they would have come up with a better way at this time. The fact that this HISTOTRIPSY has been in development for the last, I think, 10 years is exciting. The fact that it's out now when I need it, even fucking better. Yeah, it's the rates of and the death rate and all of that stuff for pancreatic cancer. I think we could see some big changes with all the new therapies that are coming out. And HISTOTRIPSY, the doctor I talked to, they're trying to get it up in Canada, and I think that would be amazing. Our system here is broken. It is horribly, horribly broken. Whether you have, a back problem or, a hip or a knee, or you have cancer or anything like that, this waiting list that we all go on, this conveyor belt that treats us like, a number in the system, is no way to do healthcare. Now, obviously, I'm not for all privatized stuff. I think we can figure it out and make it a great system here in Canada, but it needs a massive overhaul. And if you are unfortunate enough to have somebody who desperately needs the help, it's just a terrible situation. Like, I think that when they look at my particular case, they see stage 4 and they just have zero investment value. Like the fact that I got sent to a, catch-all cancer place with no pancreatic specialist, no sense of urgency to get me started. I had to push to get chemo started. He was like, why don't you take some time and think about it? I'm like, what is to think about? he was like surprised that I knew what kind of chemo I wanted. But yeah, just a jaded, dead inside doctor. I don't even know what else to say about that. Anyway, I have put some feelers out to get into the Vancouver catchment so that I can get a pancreatic specialist on my team and not somebody who's killed every single pancreatic cancer patient that they've had. But again, happiest day, treatment, information, the fact that they could even attack my pancreas is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. And my goals of being cancer-free or cancer in deep remission they feel achievable. I feel so much hope. It's amazing. So anyway, my love out to all of you guys if you hung in here for this whole video. And yeah, I will chat with you soon. I have a vitamin C IV tomorrow, and I'm excited about that. Just keep pumping my body full of good things to prepare myself for the hard times.